Hi, I'm Wolfgang and I'm gonna show you what I will be cooking for the Oscars. Well, I'm gonna show you how to make my sea bass in puff pastry with a little chive butter. It's really simple. We do it for the Oscars every year and people just love it. You know, for the Oscars, we cook for 1,600 people, so we cannot cook everything to order. It would take too long. But with the fish and puff pastry, we can make it in the morning and then have 40 or 50 of these fishes ready, and we can cut them into small portions, and we have 400 or 500 pieces of fish ready to go. What I like about it is I can do it in advance, so nobody has to do it at the last second. And what is great, because of the puff pastry, it stays really hot inside. We make about 50 of these fishes, even bigger one than this one. Just slice it and serve it with the sauce, and everybody gonna get a hot fish. The moment people get out of the theater, they're all really hungry. So when they come up, we have a big sushi bar, raw bar and everything outside with champagne and wine and cocktails and everything, so people can get a bite. And then when people go inside the room, as soon as they sit down somewhere, you have waiter coming with trays of food, all on small plates. Now in the old time, it was a more formal setting. Everybody had their place cards. But I said this is not a fun party because everybody had to sit already for 4 hours in the theater. So when they are out, they want to mingle with people. So now I know if Spielberg comes or Clint Eastwood comes or some other director comes, I sit them all in the same area. It's a more loungy feel. And we serve now everything in small bites. Everybody can eat, but instead of eating one big dish, you actually can eat 10 different things. So you get a small plate of the fish in puff pastry, you get a small lamb chops, or you get a small baked potato with some caviar. I'm gonna show you how I make my famous chicken pot pie with black truffles. Everybody raves about it. I love to see some of the people like Denzel Washington or Clint Eastwood or Martin Scorsese or some of the people I know for 40 years. When all these actors see me, they say, oh, Wolf is here, we know we're gonna get great food. And I remember Barbara Streisand telling me a few weeks ago, she said, you know, I don't care what you cook for the Oscar, just make me my chicken pot pie. Prince Albert came one year to the Oscars and he said, I wish you would open a restaurant in Monte Carlo and make the same chicken pot pie you made for the Oscars. We started making that maybe 8 years ago or so. Every year I order like 30 pounds of black truffles from France. It's just the end of the season, end of February, beginning of March. We order lots of caviar and we make tortellini or pasta with black truffles. One year when we still had the whole fancy dinner, when it was more formal, we made it for everybody, and it was the first time everybody got hot food, but I think it has become such a popular dish. I'm gonna show you how to make my salmon with pesto noodles, healthy and delicious. In the middle of the 90s, the Board of Governors asked me to cater the Governor's Ball, which at that time was downtown at the Shrine Auditorium. But it was the first time that everybody actually stayed for dinner because they knew I was cooking, and most of the movie people, most of the movie stars, director, producers come to our restaurant, so they know the quality of the food we serve. So then they said, you have to do it every year. So we started that 23 years ago. One year, Michael Caine came to the Oscars, one of our first Oscar parties. The next day he invited his whole family to Spargo and says, Wolfgang, I want exactly the same thing I had last night at the dinner party after the Oscars. And we made him the same dinner, and he said, almost as good as at the Oscars. I said, you won an Oscar, that's why. We always do also healthy food, you know, food with no meat in it, vegetarian food. So we might do, for example, a tomato risotto, make it totally vegan. We use a vegetable stock and we use tomato sauce, which we make ourselves, fold it in without Parmesan and butter. Just add more tomatoes in it. It's nice and creamy and really tasty. We have a lot of vegan dishes, also vegetarian dishes. I have 6 people alone doing vegan dishes. The salmon with the pesto and vegetable noodles has become very popular. People think, oh, I want to eat healthy, I want to eat something good, so this is a perfect dish. I'm gonna make the most delicious Cabernet braised short ribs. Every movie star will love it. I think we make 30 different dishes, so there's something for everybody. If you want a baked potato with caviar, or a chicken pot pie, or a Wagyu beef, whatever it is, we have it for you. When we do the menu for the Academy Awards, we're gonna have part of it is comfort food and part of it is innovation. Braised short ribs is really comfort food. The chicken pot pie is really comfort food. So when people didn't eat all day, then at the end of the evening, by 10 o'clock at night, everybody is so hungry. So to have real comfort food feels really good. We also pass around our smoked salmon Oscars, our mini burgers, our sliders, all kind of different pizzas. There are so many different dishes that you can eat for an hour, 2 hours, whatever you want. But what is exciting, instead of having one big plate, you can choose so many different ones. Last year, we made 30 dishes. I think we made like 15,000 plates. Everybody has their favorite. Like Steven Spielberg, he loves our braised short ribs with a little polenta. We make some new things, always do. This year we got, for example, 200 pounds of beef from the Miyazaki prefecture in Japan, which really has the best Wagyu beef in the world. But a lot of things are traditional, like our chicken pot pie and our fish and puff pastry, we make it every year. We also make 5,000 chocolate Oscars, which we paint in gold so people can take them home. If they win or lose, we give everybody an Oscar. For me, presentation is very important because we always eat with our eyes first. This is a dish Oscar worthy. As a matter of fact, it's better than most of the movies.
Oh, yes!